Hey everybody, welcome back to Studio Builder. My name is Kevin Patrick Robbins. Everybody calls me KPR though. Today what I want to do is I want to walk you through my workspace setup in Capture One Pro. There's a link in the description below where you can download a 30-day trial. Check it out. If you do end up getting a subscription, you'll save 10%, but I'll also get a small percentage on that as well. Even if I wasn't a Capture One affiliate, I would absolutely recommend it 100%. It's what I've been recommending to photographers and friends of mine for about 7 years now. It's the only thing that I recommend to photographers now. I highly recommend checking out Capture One and migrating over to Capture One as soon as you can. The sooner the better, your work will improve significantly. So let's take a look at the workflow. Okay, so looking at Capture One, we have three main spaces. Right here we have the viewer where the images show up. We have the tools panel here right off to the left, and we have the browser off to the right. Now, the one thing that you need to know is that everything in Capture One is completely customizable. If I wanted to move the browser to the bottom, I could do that very easily, very quickly. Change it to more of a film strip. If I want to move the tools to the right-hand side, super simple. If I want to get the browser back off the bottom, if I just want the browser, I just hide the viewer. It's that simple. Everything is really simple, really great, but this is how I like to work. I like to work left to right. So I keep my tools on the left, my viewer in the middle, my browser on the right. If I want to, I can turn the tools off at any time. I can turn the browser off at any time, turn the tool back on, browser back on. Just a couple keyboard shortcuts and makes life super simple. Across the top, we have the toolbar. Now, the toolbar is different than the tools panel. This is more of a stationary. You can customize it and add different things to the toolbar. Right now, I have it set up very simply: import, export, capture. If I need it, rotate. This just rotates the variants, auto adjustments, and proofing previews, the standard set of tools that you might be using within the viewer. And then I'll just I'll go down to one image here. Here we have the before after. So you can easily see this is the original shot out of the camera, and this is after applying all my adjustments in Capture One. Then we have the focus mask. It shows which areas of the image are in focus. You can see her face is in focus. I have a grid. I can put the grid on. I have guides. I can put the guides on. I have exposure warnings. I have apply to all selected variants or not, and then just copy and apply adjustments. Where you can really customize it is in the tool tabs. So you can simply add tools or add tool tabs. There are some built-in ones. I use a number of custom tool tabs. The first one, we have the library. And this is the session folders. We have session albums. Those are smart albums. And we have favorites. Favorites are folders that you can create within the session and move the actual raw files into. So I can take this file and I can drag it into one of these folders, and it will actually change where it is on my hard drive. Then filters, filter by rating, color tag, date, keywords, places. You can filter by IPTC data, things like that, and filter by camera, filter by lens, focal length, whatever you want to filter by, easily done there. Hey, before I go any further, if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing if you're a professional photographer or an aspiring professional and you feel that these videos can be helpful. Next, I have the Metadata tab, and this is a standard tab, but I have rearranged it. So I have the keywords at the top, so I like to see what keywords are there. Then I have the metadata, and you can make the adjustments here to the metadata. Then a keyword library. If you have keyword libraries installed, you can use that, and then you can just search down through your keyword library. And then you'll notice I also have the filters tool here again. So that way, if I want to filter by keyword, I can do that. The next tab I have set up is a custom tab. I call this baseline, and this gives me sort of an overview of all the images and the characteristics. So I have exposure evaluation here at the top. This doesn't change. If I change the exposure, this isn't going to change. This is showing me exactly what the raw file consists of. Then I have the base characteristics. I can set an Icc profile. This was shot on a Canon EOS 6D. So here I'm using the generic profile. I could change that to a pro standard profile. The curve is to auto. And then right now the engine on this image, because I processed it 5 years ago, it's using Capture 1.9. If I wanted to upgrade it, I could simply hit upgrade. And now this image is being rendered using the current version of the Capture One engine. The next tool is Lens Corrections LCC. You can create LCCs, you can add your own LCCs. Here I'm dealing with purple fringing and dehazing, so I want to deal with all the sort of the base characteristics of the images across the entire set of images. And my next tab is the Composition tab. At the top I have the Grid tool, and I can turn the grid on or off. I can customize the grid if I only want this to be a 2x2 grid, so sort of center point, single point perspective. You can change it to a golden ratio, and you can change it to a Fibonacci spiral, and then just make those changes however you see fit. And you can go back to 3:3 or a 30x30 if you want. Let's reset that and turn that off. Crop, there are standard crop sizes. You can also customize your own crop sizes. I have one customized here for YouTube thumbnails. Rotation and flip and keystone. The keystone tool in Capture One is phenomenal. The next tab I have is the exposure tab. This is a standard Capture One tab, but I have, again, customized it. Again, I want to keep the exposure evaluation at the top because this is different than the histogram. So the histogram, you'll see if I move and change the image, the histogram changes as well. But the exposure evaluation is never changing. The exposure evaluation is a graphic representation of the raw data. Then I have a layers tool, and I just have that minimized in case I need it and need to switch layers while I'm in this tool tab. Then white balance, exposure, dynamic range, clarity, levels, and dehaze. So my process here is to work from right to left across the tabs. So I start with culling my images, sorting them, color tagging them. Then I'll add the metadata. Then I will go to make sure that everything is set from a standard baseline. Then I'll change my composition. Then I'll change and adjust my exposure settings. And then next we have the color tab. And in the color tab, what I do is I have the histogram again, so I can see if I'm making color changes, how that's reflected in the histogram. I have the layers tool because often if I'm working on specific aspects of the image, then I just want to focus on those things and I want to see the changes I'm making. You will notice when you click on the layers tool and you click on a layer and the mask comes up, there is a little brush beside some of these tool names. In this tab, it's beside all of the tool names because that's how I have it set up. Then again, color, I have white balance, and then the two main color tools that you're going to use in Capture One. The skin tone tool, and then I have the advanced color editor. I don't have one for the basic color editor because I don't use it. If I'm making color adjustments, it's going to be very specific color adjustments. So the next tool tab I have is layers. So I have the layers tool here because this is where I will work on everything when I'm building up an image. Underneath that, I have the style brushes, and Capture One comes with a number of built-in style brushes, such as an iris enhance, a teeth whitening, red skin reduction. Then again, white balance, and then I have normalize. Normalize, it allows you to normalize the white balance across a set of images. Then here I have exposure, high dynamic range, clarity, and sharpening, and those are the tools I tend to use when I'm working on layers. So my next tab is the details tab, and I have, again, the layers tool at the top. I keep it minimized. It's there in case I need it. Then spot removal, I do most of my spot removal in Capture One if I can help it. It's very good at it and it does it very quickly. Clarity, sharpening, noise reduction, and moire. These are the tools that deal with cleaning up the details in your image. The next tab I have set up is what I call the finishing tab. This is a custom tab I created. Again, I have the layers tool right at the top here because if I'm doing color grading, I like to do it on its own layer. The next tool I have in here is the black and white tool. And this allows me to do black and white conversions and split tones if I was doing split tones. And then under here, I have 3 separate instances of the same tool. This is the color balance tool I have this one set to highlights, this one to midtones, and this one to shadows. This allows me to do my color grading and see all of the adjustments I've made to the grade at once. In the color balance tool, there is a three-way, but you can see these circles are really small. So I like to have 3 copies of the same tool so that I can see it nice and big and make fine adjustments. Then I have the film grain and vignetting, and that's what I do in these. The last tab I have here is adjustments. And this is just where I have my styles set up, and I have some presets set up. It's just there in case I want to come in and see what would this look like, punchy black and white. And it's pretty dramatic and dark, so not for this image. And so that's how I have my workspace set up. And what's great about this is you can create multiple workspaces and switch between them. If you're doing different things, I can create a workspace specifically for color grading, and then I can create a workspace that's specifically for culling. But I've created one workspace that works for my entire workflow, just moving left to right across the tool tabs. I hope this video was helpful. Definitely get into Capture One, check it out. Download the 30-day trial from the link below. I guarantee you, if you try this for 30 days, you will be hooked. If you're a professional photographer, especially a commercial photographer, editorial photographer, you really should be working in Capture One. And I process everything in Capture One, from an editorial shoot like this, to an ad shoot, to my headshots, wedding sessions, family sessions. I do absolutely everything in Capture One because the image quality is unparalleled. If you thought this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe. I'm going to be doing more videos on Capture One, more tutorials on Capture One. Also, if you like the content of this video so far, please give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. It really helps me out a lot. And I think it's just a small thing to ask in exchange for the information that I provide in the video. Thank you.